guys, here's Mark, and you know, I'm not a super freak from Kyosho, especially because of the differential they use at Inferno in Kyosho Fox and Scorpion and Mad Cruiser, Mad Crush and all that stuff. All the same. Inferno V3, V2 differential is not the best. They made the setup most in 4S for get a 55 out of the box. That's slow. We don't want many more speed. We don't want 75 or something, but just 60, 65. That's for me a point where was the difference for me. When I see a car drive, I can tell you, oh, that's less than 60. When I see it drive, it's, oh, it's boring. A little bit more than 60, begin to be fun. And I know there are RC like this one, or a Kyosho Fox or Scorpion XXL, are not made for go fast or bash heavy, and I love them. That's the Kyosho I love. The Kyosho XXL, the Fox with the pedals, the Rampage Pro, and this baby. When I see that, I first tell myself, yeah, don't believe and don't trust this Axel, because we had issue back in the time with the Fox, especially Fox 2. The Fox 1, we break some arms here, sometimes some outputs, but at the V2 version we break axles. And it's Kyosho, it's from the highest RC in spare parts. That's boring. And now I discover they make a V2 axle, and then I discover this truck. And this truck is with the Clodbuster, the two trucks I was dreaming about when I begin to do RC sports. I see the Clodbuster and I had to have one, so I get one. I see the USA-1, but back in the time the USA-1 was on another truck. The structure was different and I really not like it. So I get the Clodbuster. Now I see that at the Kyosho Medforce chassis, and when I see it, I just, ooh, where to buy? PayPal, click, yes, yes, yes. And I get one. But I don't buy a new one. I have the chance to get a second hand who is not really used. That's something guys like I, who has many trucks, who drives the truck, needs. I understand people who wants to have all new and just put it behind them and not drive it really fast or hard. But I'm a driver. I like to work on my stuff. I like to do videos for you, for share. But what I prefer is to drive my trucks. I'm not going to be crazy with that one. If you don't believe me, take a look at my Losi LMT video. I just put some ramps and make some freestyle, and I had fun with that truck. It was nice. And that's one why I also want to do with that one. So we have super nice fluffy tires. That's a good choice from Kyosho, because that when you land, take the shock, you see, the tire absorbs the first hit, then the axle can compensate the rest, because solid axle monsters have the same problem. They are most of the time bumpy, because in RC we have not, like in real truck, bypass double range, how to say, adjustable shocks who can have different speed in and out, and a different speed between have some little bump or hard hit. That's what we mess in RC sports. We have just standard shocks, and that's the problem. To have a really realistic driving truck who can take some big jumps. So the tires absorb. I fear first that I use the old rubber from the old Kyosho USA-1, and that is not so. They use a really super nice foam. That means when you drive it, even in 3S, I'm gonna tell you, even in 3S this thing gonna balloon a little bit, and that is right, because it's way easier to make stunts with ballooning tires. A tire who's ballooning just before you land also takes more hit, because the air in there makes some more shock absorb. Then the rubber can absorb the rest, and then only comes the suspension from the truck. That's nice. I love the body. I'm a great freak from pickup trucks with roll bar and LEDs and the lights on the top. That's something I really like. I want to see more. I first also fear that's hard plastic, like Kyosho every time does, but not. They learned something. It's really flex. Also here the fake motor output is mounted on the flex system. That's nice. So, but we still have nothing to protect the body more. We have just the 4 body pins here. We have no roll bar in there. That's, but I mean, who make something to protect our body? Just Traxxas. Traxxas does it, the other doesn't do anything. You're gonna tell me, yeah, San Reaper has a roll bar. Yeah, it's a handlebar, not a roll bar. The new Savage X has a roll bar. No, it's also just a handlebar. It's nuts go under the hood. Arma does it at the Creighton, and that's maybe all of them. And I really hope that more brand will do something to protect more our body. This is a scale looking monster truck. I really expect this one to have a roll cage in there to protect the body. We had nothing at a point. Maybe, hopefully someone will do something, or we can adapt something from another truck to protect this awesome looking body. We have flexible mounted rear windows, no windows, rear windows, rear glasses, back mirror. We have a nice rear bumper directly bolted on the body. An issue with the this one, I don't like that. The old version had two tires here, two wheelie bar. Man, I just forget the name. I gotta show you here. This is a V1, and here we have the best system. We have 2 from that, so you are really stable and popping wheelie. That's really something I prefer. This one is just unstable, gonna hit the body. Okay, you can rise the body up, but if you rise it, it's not anymore looks like so nice he looks out from the box. Just, this is not a big thing, but I think from a brand like Kyosho, that's a mistake. So I'm not gonna rise the body, I'm gonna change that one. We still have plastic shocks, but I had many from that Kyosho type of chassis. I have never had really an issue with that. On a hard, when I was climbing, because I have made this as a Formula off-road car, I have the whole weight in front, I have the paddle tires, so that baby goes up really high hills for an RC, and sometimes, many times, he comes down the wrong way, not the way I expected, and one time I popped off shock caps, but it's a little issue. You can change it with any other stuff you want. You can take Kyosho option, but the Kyosho option are really heavy in price. I prefer to put Hobao shocks on there, but keep the Kyosho springs, who are way softer. The other thing why I get this truck is, finally, there's one brand who made us white rims, 70mm with 1 offset, and this is what I call a monster truck rim. You can get it by G-Concept. Lozi made one, but it's a little bit gray, not white. And if you buy separately rims, you have to get the tires to go on. You have to take care to have the right rim to the right tire. In America it's maybe way easier, but here in Europe it's not so easy to get any stuff we want that wise, because it's I don't know why they think we are not so fan for monster truck or drag race, but that's wrong. We love it also like all Americans. That's the strange way from the commerce. So I love this baby. I love the way they are soft. I know they're not gonna take more than 4S because too much ballooning and that stuff, but I not want to use it for more. And I want to get separately to put on my Traxxas Max and put another body on my Traxxas Max. Also just in force, just not to go more than 60 kilometers an hour, just for have some different stuff. So let's talk about the front bumper, because there's also something I not understand. Looks nice, it's bolted at the chassis but on a super flex mount. And what happens with that? It's super flex, okay, but when you hit, you're gonna anytime hit the body here. So maybe you're gonna lift, I have to do it, even if I not want, or I think I'm gonna cut off here a little piece so the bumper can work easily alone. But I really think that bumper should be a little bit more in front and have had to be a little bit stiffer, like it's on this one. I really prefer that mount. It's way tougher. So we're gonna do something. Maybe try something with some 3D printed with TPU, some flex stuff. Make a big TPU on the bumper here. I don't know. We're gonna see that. I love this because you can put some light in there, and that looks the truck really nice. You can also put the LEDs in the top here, and the thing I love the most on this chassis is the chain transmission. I never destroy it and makes no noise. You only heard the brushless motor and you heard the tires. That's all. So that's why I have here the sound box in the truck, and that's why also I take that one. I want to take the low ZLMT, but when I was driving it, this is so noisy. I was just bored. It's just because I hate it. I really hate it and don't understand why RC brands, because we know they can do it. Traxxas are super quiet. Arma is noisy. Orbao is noisy. FG is super quiet. We have so many. We have really half of the brand who can make super quiet stuff, and on the other side we have brands who make super noisy stuff. Horizon Hobby especially make noisy stuff, and that's not cool, because we like to drive brushless because it's quiet, and especially on scale trucks, if you have a quiet one, you can put the sound module in there, and that's what's gonna happen. I'm gonna put the LEDs in there, I'm gonna put this sound module in, and I'm gonna have more fun with my electro truck, because I don't know if I have 1 or 2 videos of the sound module in the Fox. Many people don't like to drive alone. I understand that, especially on road or in boating in just a lake. But if you are boating like I, where we have big waves, or doing off-road, I like to drive alone. And even if I not use a super power truck, high-end power truck, like what I used to drive here in 12S or more, when I have here in my Fox, I just drive 60 top speed, but when I'm on the hill climbing with my sound box and heard the V8 roaring and go at regulation over there, when I get to the top from the hill and I have this whoop 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 whoop, I just gone crazy. It's so stupid, but in my head I return as a 6-year-old kid. I'm really super happy. I come home totally crazy. I made that! Whoa, 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 whoa. Sometimes I'm really happy my girlfriend is so patient, because I think another one has already headshot me. Oh, nothing to do more with this guy. Bye bye. So we have improved Axel V2xl is now in the market for the Fox 2, So I think all the latest version from this axle will get the V2. Difference is we have here a different mark. I think the plastic is a little bit different. We have here brighter holders, and they also improve the worst thing they have done at the Fox 2, and something this is also the cause because we destroy so much axle at the Fox. The dog bones here, when you are on full turning here, comes out from the drive cup. Put it in the wrong way, 90 degree, so you have pressure, and this pressure destroy the axles here. And I'm gonna show you the V2 V1 axle, because we have here a Fox V1. This is a Fox 2 with the V1 axles. And look at this, it's really tiny, and we have one part here. So we're gonna see what they do. Have they really improved so much that stuff? I hope. I really hope so. What I'm not like is this bar here, this panhard bar, because it's really exposed. And with the Fox 2 I many times hit here, and I even destroy this part. You can get it made from alloy, but the price from this part of alloy from Kyosho is really crazy. And you are thinking, hey, how many of this car have this guy? I have the USA 1. I have the Fox 2 V2 with the original tires. This one is one I'm gonna set up differently to make a crawler, because I want a 1/8 scale crawler. So I get the Craigsman. I want to take the Craigsman, but so noisy. I hate it. Not cool. So I get the Yukon, but it's a stretch at 1/10 scale. It's not really a 1/8 scale. This is 1/8 scale. We have 68.5 bearings. We have real 1/8 scale dog bones, 1/8 scale differentials, and I'm gonna put thick oil, 20 million thick oil in the front and rear differential. Maybe just 2 or 5 million in the rear and 20 million in the front. I'm gonna unglue this tire, and I'm gonna put some weight on the rims, more in the front than in the rear. In the truck we already know we can put the all weight in the front. I do it there. I have the sound box here, I have the ESC here, the receiver and servo, so we have the whole front here weight. And I'm gonna change the gear ratio, and maybe a motor with less kVA, or should I gonna let the same motor, and not the same, not the original system, but a censored Castle system, because it's waterproof, with a small pinion, or even the normal pinion, because you have no 2-speed gear in there. Because what I like the most is not only crawl. I like trucks for do anything. That means I can drive 55, 60 with this type of car, and then I want to be able to crawl. So because we have no diff locking system, and I don't want to drive a full locked truck, that's why I don't buy the Axel SCX 6,200 euros for a truck who is not able to unlock the diffs. That is not scale for me, sorry. That's just crawler. And differential costs more money. Lockable diff are higher in price, so I'm not okay to pay 1,200 euros for an Axel SCX who has no differential in there, because it's mechanical less on board, and this is not scale for me, sorry. I don't like to drive only in smooth surface with my trucks. I really want to have both possibility. Here we have no 2-speed, we have no lockable diff, so that's why I'm gonna take just some thick oil. And I want to show you that this thing is really, I'm sure it's able to crawl really nice. Not crawl like a crawler, but like a scale or freight truck. Like a real Jeep, just. So back to this one. This one I'm gonna let the oil in there. the first owner from the truck put 300,000 CST in there, and you see it's not so much. It's not too much. You have 4 satellites and 2 planetary gear. Maybe in America you tell it like the German, because I anytime say satellite gear for the small ones and planetary for the big. The German says sun gear for the big and planetary for the smalls. So I hope you have understand me right. Depending on you, tell me how did you tell that for my next English video, so I tell it the right way, so maybe more people can understand it easy. And I'll tell anything about the truck. Yeah, they put another power system in there. You have slightly bigger tires, but not so heavy that the old ones. We had Mad Crusher series with really heavy bandlock driven tires, and they learn about that because these tires are way lighter. I want to buy 4 more, but I don't do it because of the cost. When I see the price to get 4 of this baby mounted on tires include, I have to pay here 200 euros for 4 1/8 scale just normal tires. That's crazy. That's the price for tires for my Kraken 8s, 12s, sorry, or my X-Max, and I'm not gonna spend so much money just for 4 monster truck tires. We also gonna make this body. I'm gonna give to my Alsace RC body. We're gonna make this one reinforced. How I tell you, I'm gonna put the LEDs here in front and rear and at the top bar. Maybe I'm not gonna use a wire to underneath. I'm gonna put a small battery in the truck, so it's gonna be easier. And not anytime I have to take care of the wire going in something here. So, main transmission is fully often, and I never had any issue with that. I really think at the beginning when I get my first one, oh, all gonna hit here, the mud gonna go through that stuff, I'm gonna destroy my main gear, but nothing happens, never. So I'm really happy with this transmission, and I would say it's, from sound-wise, the best transmission I have. First place before Traxxas. So underneath they also changed 2 things. We not have any more just dog bones. We have the optional CVD stock in the rear and a new CVD with telescopic in the front. This is something we need to have at the Losi 3xl on the axles. We want to have 4 telescopical CVD at all 4 corners at the Losi 3xl, and then we're going to be happy with that truck. So, sorry for I just slide a little bit. Steering, still here, works. Servo, stock 9 kilo, bad. But this is the first thing I'm gonna kick out. I'm gonna make a stock run, but I know I'm gonna put a 25 kilo servo here. That's what I've done of all my other trucks. Don't just think on the truck is lifting from the front, it's light on steering. When you are braking, the tracks come down, the weight comes down, and this servo is not anymore good for that. You don't handle it, and especially if you drive in dirt and mud, the truck is going to be heavier. You have the mud in the so stuff in the rims, and this servo really not like that. So I'm gonna change this one first. The power system we're gonna check it out. So in the Fox we have 2100 kV. I would say stock out from the box, it's no 60 kilometers an hour. It's not enough for me. You can go 1 tooth more. The motor can handle it. You can go 2 tooths more. Can handle it, but begins to be the limit for the temperature and the amp draw. Because the truck is 4.5 kilograms, this one is a little bit heavier because of the heavier tires. So I not like 68mm can motor and so trucked. I really prefer on more than 3.5 kilograms I'm used to drive 74mm motors, and at more than 5 kilo I use 82. Not in no case I'm faster than you if you use a big opinion. Even if I use more S, I go down with the kV, but I never have battery stress and never have heat issue with my truck, even in summer. That's what I like. So we're gonna try that. They go to 2300 kV. Why did they go for more kV? For the stunts. So in the air, I think we at the ground the motor will a little bit struggling at full speed, or if you drive it normal like a buggy, but you're gonna handle it, it's okay. But this little bit more kV is maybe gonna be way better in the air. When you go away from the ground, the motor can spin free, really catches high and fast kV to balloon the tires and make you an easy stuff for your freestyle jumps. We also see it in the Traxxas Max. I really not like the motor from the Traxxas Max in the Max. A 70 long can motor 36, 2040 kV, it's way too much in a 5 kilo heavy car. On the ground he really struggles. In 3S, in 4S a little bit less, but he go hot. But as soon you are no more on the ground, the motor can really catch up high RPM and spin the truck free in the air. So we're gonna test it here, but I maybe also gonna go for a longer motor with more torque. Maybe 2200 kV, because I let it in 3S, 1 or 2 tools more to get the same result, but just no heat. But regarding the fact, if you only drive freestyle, you're not gonna have heat issue, because you just drive slow from one ramp to the other. I'm gonna change it when I drive more in the field or more in the wood and so stuff. But for those who wanna just make freestyling stuff and use this monster truck for competition, I don't know if you can. I know they also do more kV for those who want to drive only 3S, because monster truck competition from that size are in 3S. But I don't know if he has the required size for your competition in America. Here we have not some stuff, so we all do what we want. It's also cool. But I fully understand for competition purpose that you have to limit all that. So once again, and it's 99% from the case, all of us buy an RC for the way it looks before we look to transmission, motor and all that stuff. When we are not convinced by the nice looking from the truck, we begin to take more time to check out transmission, power stuff and all that, to make our decision. But in that case, for me, when I see that on the market, I immediately knew I have to get one, and that's why I have one here. I even don't know if I'm going to drive much. Maybe I begin to get old and begin to make some RC just for put on my corners here. And I forget the name from that. How did you name this thing, guys? My storage. I don't know if it's a storage, because it just looks so nice. I'm already thinking to get to buy a cloud buster and to make a cloud buster and put all balls front in front and let it just here the top of my storage. And anytime I come here in the workshop and see that and think, oh man, that's nice. Yeah. If you have one, tell me about it. What have you destroyed? What not did you drive? 3S, 4S? What's the regulation for monster truck competition in the USA? Have you different type of competition? And what did you expect from such monster? I really like the look from the late 80s monster truck looking style. I also like the new one, but I really prefer the old one with that stuff here, a little bit higher in the center. The new one, when you knew the 21st century monster truck, they slightly here. The chassis is even a little bit lower than the axle. You have the V8 in there. The old ones was really normally trucks with the motor in the front, was high lifted and with tractor tires, and I like that. I really like it. But tell me one thing more. That's something we don't speak about. Can someone tell me why no RC brand until Tamiya at the Clotbuster, or one? No, I don't remember to have seen one or two other trucks with that. Can you tell me why no RC brand is able to make a scale looking truck with scale looking suspension? No one. They just always put only one shock at each corner, and in the most of the case, I know, because for the drivability of the truck it's laying a little bit down, but it would be so nice to have out from the box a truck with 2 shocks or 3 on each side going through the axle like the real ones, because we have almost nice looking scale body, we have nice looking scale rims, but we still have just 4 shocks, who's really not looking scale. That's something strange for me. I'm waiting for your comments, guy. Yeah, maybe some of you has noticed that I cut all the stuff here on the body that's from about God and the Christ or something, because I'm a non-believer. Sorry, I believe in nature and in the earth. I can take in my hands and the grass and all that stuff, but nothing saying on top of me, and also nothing underneath of me waiting for me to rip my ass off and burn me down or some stuff. That's crazy. Have a nice day, guys.